my clothes off. I don't know why.
Nigga ABG, anybody can get it. Nigga ABG, anybody can get it. Yeah.
What's up YouTube, it's Chandler. So today I'm going to be doing a little video. This is going to be another story time, and I don't know if you guys are ready because I'm not even ready to tell you this story, but it's going to be so it is so embarrassing for me, but hey, whatever, we got to do it for the views. But this is a story about me going to the ER. I was 10 years old, I think. Super embarrassing to tell you guys this, but we're gonna do it anyway. So when I was 10 years old, I lived in an apartment building, and I had a good amount of friends there, and I loved living there. I lived there for 2.5 years, and so my friend who lived like in the next building over, she always wanted to be older than her actual age, not something a typical 10-year-old would do. Okay, so we're girls. We're always talking about periods. It doesn't matter. Every girl has a period. But we were 10 years old, 9 and 10 years old. We didn't have periods yet. Yes, some girls do have periods at 10 years old, but we were not one of those girls. So she had tampons for some reason. Her sister didn't even live with her, but she had tampons for some reason, and she practiced using them when she didn't even have her period when she was 10 years old. But she would wear them all day. One tampon. She would put in one tampon before she went to school, and she would leave it in all fucking day. Number one, that's disgusting. Number two, and that's a whole waste of money. And number three, she could like low-key get an infection doing that. So we got home from school one day, and it was Friday, and she was like, "You want to stay the night at my house?" And I was like, "All right, sure." So I go and I'm sleeping. I'm asleep over at her house, and we're talking about, you know, we're not excited for periods to start. We're kind of whatever. And so then we just like kind of started talking about it, and she was like, "Well, I have been practicing using tampons just in case." And I'm like, "Just in case what?" And she was like, "Just in case, you know, like it happens. I want to know how to do it." I'm like, "You have a mom for that. You have a mom who can help you. Like, you don't need to be practicing with it." And she was like, "I know, but do you want to practice with me?" And I was like, "Girl, I don't think so." And she was like, "No, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not weird. It's not gonna hurt you. You can do it." And I'm just like, oh, I was like, I don't think I want to do that. You know, we don't need to be doing all that, whatever. But she was just like, "No, it's okay. You can do it." And like, I didn't do it. I told her I wasn't gonna do it, but she just did it dead ass. Like, we was sitting on her bed, and she had this really huge ass motherfucking blanket, and we were both covered up with the blanket, and she just fucking under the blanket pulls her pants down and puts a freaking tampon in. I was like, do I need to be here for this, or can I go? You know what I'm saying? And so the next day, she was like getting in my head. I was like, yo, like maybe I should actually learn how to do this shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, I didn't want to like go to my mom and talk about it, because that's just kind of weird, you know? But I just I took one of my sister's tampons, and I went in my bedroom. I took all my clothes off. I don't know why, but I took all my clothes off. I went in my bedroom, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it was so funny. It was so funny. I remember exactly what I did to put this tampon in. So I'm 15 years old now, and I know how to use tampons, and because I actually have my period, I know how to use tampons. I use them a good bit. But I was 10 years old. I did not know how to put them in. I did not know anything. So there's this book. It was from American Girl. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's from American Girl. It was this book, and it was like, it showed you how to put tampons in. I was looking at the book, and I was watching how to do it, and it said how to do it like in a toilet. Like, you sit on the toilet and you just do it, and you know, that's how every girl does it. But I did not know how to do that. So I'm gonna show you guys what I was doing. Okay, let's say there's a wall right here. I'm gonna show you guys. So I had a mirror on my wall, and I put my leg up on the wall, and the mirror is right there. So I'm like looking at my vagina, and I have the tampon, and I'm like trying to put it in there, and I like finally, after a million tries, it took me like 30 minutes to try and get this tampon in, and I finally get the tampon in, but I pushed it way too far. Like, I could barely see the string anymore. I took like the plastic applicator part out, and I was like, all right, great, I did it. But it felt really stiff inside. Like, it hurt. Like, it kind of hurt to move. And it was like really stiff and like dry, and I was like, this is really uncomfortable. I don't like this. I don't know how I like this. And so I tried to pull it back out. I just got back in my position with my foot up in the air like that, and I tried to pull it out, but it was not moving. It was not moving. I was like, and it hurt to try and pull it out. It hurt. Like, it honestly hurt. Like, it felt like it was like if I was bringing the tampon out, that it was bringing my vagina with it. Like, it was hurting so bad. I was like starting to panic. I was like, what did I do? And so I tried to get it out myself. I couldn't do it. So I went to my mom and I told her, I said, yo, I got a tampon stuck in my vagina. And she was just like, what? And so we went to her bedroom, and I lay down on the bed. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. So my mom is standing right here at the end of the bed, and I'm like laying here like this at the end of the bed, like I'm about to get birth or something. And she is trying to pull it out. She's trying to get it out. It's hurting. I'm telling her, don't do it. It hurts, bro. So after my dad gets home from work, she tells him, she's like, Chandler has a tampon stuck in her vagina. And I'm like, just fucking told my dad. But you just told my dad. Why you gonna tell her that? And so anyway, we go to the ER. It's like 10 o'clock at night, whatever. We go to the ER, and we're sitting there. We go back there, and you go back there, and they ask you, like, did they check your vitals and everything, whatever. And they're gonna, like, check your temperature, check out the problem, you know. What's your scale on a pain of 1 to 10? What's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? It was about a 6 or so, I think. I'm pretty sure I said a 6. I didn't say anything. I just said 6. And he was like, okay. And then he said, so when did the period start? And I just started snickering a little bit. And my mom was like, it hasn't started. And he was like, oh. And so after a little bit, we finally go back into my room, and we have a lady doctor. Don't worry. We got a lady doctor, and she tells me to lay down and just spread my legs open. So I'm laying there with my legs like this. My legs is open, and she puts a sheet over me, and she has another nurse holding this hand and my mom holding this hand. I'm laying on the bed like this with my legs like this. And when she pulls it out, I don't know what she did. I think she put something around like the like right around the tampon, like where you like, okay, so like this is my vagina. Okay, I'm pretty sure she put something around it, and then when it like pulled it helped pull, like make it wet or whatever to pull the thing out. And so she pulled the tampon out, and I kicked her in the stomach. Like, my legs were like this. I kicked her in the stomach. And it hurt. I low-key did kind of cry. But, yeah, I cried, and she threw it away because nobody wants to keep a tampon, you know. So she threw it away, and I got checked out or whatever. But it was crazy. It was probably one of the funniest things that have ever happened. Like, the funniest and most embarrassing. And everybody was just like, I heard you went to the ER last night. And I'm like 10 years old, and everybody's coming here asking me this, and everybody. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I went to the ER last night. And they were just like, what happened? I was like, nothing. It's straight. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I was like, nothing. It's fine. And I didn't tell anybody. I'm telling you, I've only told like 3 or 4 people about this story in like my entire life, but I just told whole YouTube, so you know, it's cool, it's straight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more story times, more embarrassing stories, whatever you want to say, comment down below and share with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Nigga ABG, anybody can get it. Nigga ABG, anybody can get it. Yeah.